I won't stop till I hear him say,
what is the solution to this?
Right now, we're about to be producing even exponentially more data than we already are as we move into a world of Internet of Things, IoT, smart cities, artificial intelligence, and advanced predictive analytics. So
Alrighty, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. This is going to be part 2 of the financial crisis gold video breakdown that I did just the other day. So make sure that you stick around. I have some massive information, some crazy fundamentals that have just recently developed in today's video breakdown. If you enjoy information and knowledge like this, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate the love and the support. Let's start it off. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm going to attempt to keep it as PG as possible so that way YouTube allows me to have this video up. We're going to be talking about this digital transformation, the CBDC rollout. I'm going to be giving you guys my personal perspective. I wanted to make that very clear. It's my personal perspective. You all can either disagree or agree with it. Make sure that you all are doing your own research. I'm going to be dropping some gems in this video breakdown that you all need to take it upon yourself to go and research. So we're going to start off with this tweet here. I said to you all, back in the day, it was whoever controlled the money controlled the world. Now it's whoever controls the data controls the world. And in the future, it will be who controls them both controls the world. CBDCs are coming, and 90% of the population has no idea. So if you all do not know the voice of the individual that I just played for you all, Brittany Kaiser, a whistleblower that used to work for Cambridge Analytica, you guys, like I said, make sure that you are going and doing research on some of these gems that I'm dropping, had a massive whistleblowing bombshell that happened back in, I believe it was 2018, where she had announced to the world that they were spying on individuals and utilizing data improperly. And she created a massive company surrounding data security, and going down the rabbit hole on that will honestly blow your mind. So take it upon yourself to go and research that. Starting off with this, okay, we're going to get into data, then we're going to go into CV19, we're going to get into CBDCs and why everything has been the way that it has been. If you are not aware, okay, let me explain how data has become the new form of currency in the 21st century. We've seen massive articles come out like this: Australia first digital ID trials show big productivity boost for Aussie businesses, massive digital ID rollouts across the board. Now, in this new digital age, personal data has become incredibly valuable if you don't already know that, okay? As we increasingly use technology in our daily lives, we leave a trail of data behind us. That is a fact. It is the truth. Every single individual on this earth leaves behind a trail of data. If you don't have a digital footprint, then by golly gee, let me know how you've done this, because most people do. I'd say about 99% of the population as of right now do. Now, this data includes everything from our browsing history, search queries, social media interactions, and even our location data. And for those individuals who are listening, you might be like, well, I don't really have anything to hide, so it's not really important. Well, it is important, and it is the new currency of the 21st century, because companies can use this data to create detailed profiles of individuals and their behavior preferences and interests. Now, this information is incredibly valuable to businesses, and that's why it's so important, because it can be used to target advertising and marketing campaigns more effectively. For example, have you ever talked about something like, for example, I think just the other day I was talking about tacos, and my older brother mentioned that he had Taco Bell or something like that. And then on YouTube, I saw a bunch of Taco Bell ads, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, right, my phone has to be listening to me. It's not listening to you. It's going based off of your data. It's going based off of recent activity. Did you drive around or near a Taco Bell, like whatever the case may be, okay? And by understanding a consumer's preferences and interests, companies can then deliver more personalized and relevant content, which then in the long term improves the chances of them making a sale to you, right? So with that being said, personal data is not only valuable to businesses, but also to governments. And now this is where it gets really extensive. So let's just talk about data security. Now, data security becomes super extensive. For example, just based off of a previous video breakdown, law enforcement agencies in recent years, like the FBI, for example, have used certain data spyware programs to spy on the general public. And they claim that they are doing it to use your personal data to track down criminals. Now, like I said, I've covered this in previous video breakdowns, specifically on the Rumble page, because I don't think that YouTube will allow me to create content like that. And if they do, I just don't want to have that out on YouTube. It's so much easier to talk freely on Rumble. So go check that video out. I believe it's the last video that I posted on Rumble, talking about projects like ZeroClick and Pegasus. Take it upon yourself. Again, those are gems right there. Go and research what it is that I'm talking about. It will literally blow your mind. Now, a simple search on these two initiatives, ZeroClick, again, and Pegasus, will show you how important your data is. So like I said, we've seen massive rollouts of digital IDs across the board, this being just one example, okay? Now, let's go all the way back to 2019, 2020, all right? Where we saw massive articles like this come out. The CV pandemic has caused a surge in demand for contactless payments, accelerating the shift from cash to digital options. Now, I want you all to really consider asking yourself some questions right now. Now that we're in 2023 and you see this massive CBDC rollout, if you're not too familiar with what's going on via CBDCs, we're going to get into that in a little bit in today's video breakdown. Like I said to you all in this tweet, CBDCs are coming and 90% of the population are sleeping on this information. So now we all know, okay, the COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on the global economy, of course, but behind the scenes, what was the biggest reason for COVID-19? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Now, again, this is my personal opinion. I can't sit here and state that this is a fact because it is not. This is based off of research and an opinion that I've accumulated. You all can take it upon yourself to do your own and accumulate your own opinion. But in my opinion, it was used to accelerate the digital transformation of many industries across the board. And one of these areas in particular that has seen a significant shift since 2019, 2020, 2021 is the global payments infrastructure, okay? Now, why was this, how did all this come to be, right? As people were forced to stay at home back when there was a lockdown and this and that, right? Businesses were obviously closed and the use of cash decreased and the need for digital payments increased. Now, think of all these things that have changed over the past 4 years. Many businesses overall shifting to e-commerce and remote working became the norm, right? Most people that had normal jobs got sent home and got to work from home. Digital payment solutions for those businesses then became essential for them to survive. And again, in my opinion, the pandemic was used to accelerate the adoption of contactless payment methods. Things like mobile payments, digital wallets, and card payments, all because people sought to minimize physical contact because they were manipulated into thinking carrying or using cash gave them a higher probability of contacting the virus. And I'm just going to show you all an example here is a news article, right, labeled "Can Cash or Going Cashless Prevent CV-19 a Spread," right? And people were seriously manipulated out of utilizing cash, okay? In my personal opinion, again, this is what the whole CV-19 pandemic was utilized for. We see things, headlines coming out now, them talking about that it was leaked from the lab and whatnot. Again, I'm not going to go into detail about that on YouTube. I'll maybe cover that on the Rumble page. But all at the same time that was happening, right? CV-19, 2019 till now, 2023. What did we see the banking institutional giants do while they were transitioning everybody to become more comfortable with this digital transformation, okay? Overall, as a result, businesses that were previously hesitant to embrace digital payments, individuals that were hesitant to embrace digital payments had been forced to adapt in order to survive, right? You could not take cash into a restaurant, use it because people looked at you weird or they told you that they did not accept cash. All while that was happening, all right? Massive buying of gold and silver took place by the central banks, physical assets, which I covered in the previous video breakdown. If you have not checked it out, go back and check it out, okay? I have two tweets for you all just to read. Goldman Sachs Group Inc. expects central banks to buy unprecedented amount of gold in 2023 as some look to diversify their reserves away from the dollar, reports Bloomberg. Jeff Curry noted their target is 1,200 tons for central bank buying, surpassing last year's purchases. And last year, central banks hit a 55-year record, if I'm not mistaken, of gold buying, okay? Think about that. Here we see. Just so you know, central banks across the globe in 2022 bought 1,136 tons of gold, more than any other year since 1950. They are buying for a reason. Ignore the price, buy some gold and silver, keep your money in metals. I talked about this in the previous video breakdown, okay? All while they're attempting to transition us to this digitalized economy, okay? They are buying hard physical assets and getting out of the United States dollar. Interesting, right? Think about it. Full circle, everything. Okay. Now let's just talk about what's going on in the market right now before we get into CBDCs. This is something that I put out to you guys last year in December 7th, 2022 to be exact. And as always, here at CYPRX, we're attempting to give you guys gems ahead of the curve before it rolls out in the mainstream media. Nobody listens to us and people laugh every single time we drop gems like this. We are called tin hat wearers, whistleblowers, whatever you want to call us, okay? It always comes into fruition because we do our research here at CYPRX. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe. This is going to blow your mind. Months in advance, we told you all. I said, I personally believe they are going to attempt to stop retail from owning XRP or stop them from being able to sell it. If the elites know XRP price is supposed to be high in value, do you really think they want 70,000 plus XRP holders becoming rich? Millionaires or billionaires. Now, this goes across the board for cryptocurrency utility-driven assets. I personally believe that they're going to do everything in their power, and they are, and I'm going to show you in today's video breakdown, to stop retail from owning crypto. And they're in the process of that right now. If you don't think that that's a possibility, it is happening. I said to you all, no, anyone with a clear understanding knows something fishy is about to go down. This case, specifically talking about the Ripple versus SEC case, has dragged on for a reason. It is not going to be all sunshine and rainbows like influencers are making it out to be. If you're an XRP holder, you're about to be put through the storm. I want to fully believe all 70,000 plus of us will come out on top, but then I would be lying. Something behind closed doors is cooking, mark my words, and no one knows what the turn of events is going to be. But I do believe it's going to be something big. Manipulation is real. And if you go through and you read the comments on tweets like this that I've made, people literally laugh and they make it out to be that this is not possible. Boom. Let's check out some recent fundamentals that just came out. This came out 38 seconds ago. UK banks HSBC nationwide to ban crypto purchases with credit cards, report reads. United Kingdom banks, HSBC, holdings, and nationwide building society, are banning cryptocurrency purchases via credit cards for retail customers. What did we say months ago here at CYPRX? People laughed at. They are going to attempt right here to stop retail from owning crypto. Do you see? Ladies and gentlemen, we're not making this stuff up. We provide value in the form of research that we do for you all here. They join a growing list of banks in the country to tighten restrictions on digital assets. A Bloomberg report on March 2nd claims the step back is a response to warnings by UK regulators and scandals surrounding the crypto industry. Nationwide is reportedly applying daily limits of 5,000 euros on debit card purchases of crypto assets, while credit cards will no longer be available for crypto transactions. I won't read any further. I cannot sit here and say that we predict the future here at CYPRX because it's not that. It's just that we do intuitive and in-depth research, and that is all you need to do in order to be successful in these markets is have an open mind, do research, and understand that anything is possible, okay? Moving on, we also saw this come out 3 hours ago. A proposed South Dakota amendment to UCC will prohibit cryptocurrencies, but not CBDCs. So we're going to get into CBDCs here in just 1 second, right? Why they don't want you owning cryptocurrency, why they want to monitor and control you through the use of CBDCs. This article goes on to say, legislation has been introduced in America's state of South Dakota to amend the Uniform Commercial Code to limit the definition of money to exclude cryptocurrencies. This is a huge deal. The UCC is creating the framework for CBDCs to be accepted and Bitcoin denied via Amazon and all other retailers, all digital transactions. This must be stopped. Right? Okay, this is nuts. We also saw Canada is eliminating stable coins, which is also interesting to say the least. So back to the tweet that we put out to you all, they don't want retail adopting this technology. They want it to be for the banks to profit, for everyone else to suffer. And they're going to do this through bans, the regulations. And the best thing that you can do as an individual is to stay up to date with crypto regulations in your jurisdictions and to cold custody your crypto. I cannot stress enough. Oh my goodness gracious, this is nuts. It's going to get crazier. It's going to get crazier. And we've been warning individuals, this is not FUD. This is just awareness. Okay. I'm not telling you all to sell your crypto or nothing like that, because I know I'm not. The only way they're going to get my crypto is that they come to my house and take my ledger from me physically, and I will put up a fight for that, right? Hopefully you all will as well. Moving on, CBDCs. Let's get into this, okay? Because here they talk about CBDCs and whatnot in the previous proposal, okay? Notably, CBDC falls within the proposed definition of money, unlike cryptocurrency, right? Interesting how it's all coming into fruition. That's coming from South Dakota here in the United States. Moving on, we've seen some massive announcements of CBDCs all around the world taking place over the past couple of weeks. Not only that, we know that over 80% of countries are either in the experimentation phase or piloting phase or interested in CBDC rollouts. Now, let's just go into CBDCs real fast, okay? I really want you all to understand my full personal opinion on CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies, bottom line, are digital versions of traditional fiat currency. Fiat currency, fake money. Fake money, I've gone over this in previous video breakdowns. They're going from one fake, inflated, just corrupt system to now one where everything can be tracked, monitored, and controlled. Fiat currencies that are issued and backed by central banks are fake. It's fake money, ladies and gentlemen. Do your research. Again, I'm not going to go into detail on that in this specific video breakdown. But while there are potential benefits to CBDCs, granted, I can say that because it can be controlled to a certain extent for the benefit of mankind, but it's not going to be, okay? One of the ways in which CBDCs could be used to monitor citizens, and this is something you really need to pay attention to, is through the collection of transaction data. Remember I said at the beginning of this video, in regards to this tweet, data and the control of money, whoever controls them both in the future will control the world, money and data, okay? And as digital currencies are recorded on the blockchain, every transaction made using a CBDC would then be recorded and traceable. This could obviously, of course, give the central banks access to your detailed information, spending habits, for example, things like purchases, where they're purchasing it, how much they spend. And this information in turn could then be used to create detailed profiles of individuals and monitor their behavior. Now, that's already happening in places like China, for example, with the social credit system. Now, additionally, CBDCs could also be used to enforce financial regulations and restrictions, like sanctions and whatnot, where it is that you spend your money at. Central banks, for example, could use CBDCs to impose transaction limits, which we've already seen, or prevent certain types of transactions altogether. For example, just to name things off the top of my head, central banks could prevent citizens from purchasing goods or services deemed harmful or illegal. Now, I want you all to take this into consideration. In the future, it's going to be like this, in my personal opinion. Again, I've told you guys this in previous video breakdowns. Say, for example, you have credit card debt or a car payment or a mortgage, and you're not up to date on your car payment or your mortgage or your credit card debt, right? And you go to the supermarket to buy some candy or soda because you're hungry or whatever the case may be, right? You want a sandwich, you want some lunch. And we're in a full CBDC digitalized system. And the government or the bankers, they're going to pretend like it's the government, but in reality, it's the central bankers. Nobody really knows that. The majority of individuals think that the government controls the money. It's not. It's the central bankers. You go to the store in the future to buy yourself some lunch and your card gets declined. Well, why is your card getting declined? Because the central bankers know that you owe the system money and they're not going to allow you to spend it on a sandwich. No, you need to go pay your car payment or you need to go pay your mortgage. Now, granted, you should have done that in the first place, but do you really want to live a reality where everything down to the smallest cent is controlled by the central bankers? That's coming, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming because people have been manipulated into believing, like I said, that that is what needed to happen. They've been forced through fear and manipulation into thinking that that's the only thing that's about to save this system, CBDCs, right? Now, Finally, my last perspective on CBDCs. They could be used to enforce government policies and agendas. That's the most dangerous thing in my personal opinion. Central banks, in turn, could use CBDCs to distribute funds or incentives to citizens who behave in a certain way. And I'm telling you all right now, that's how they're going to roll this out. They're going to tell everybody, oh, come do this, come do that. We'll give you 1,000 digital dollars. We'll give you 1,000 digital pounds, whatever, the digital euros, whatever, digital yuan. Okay. They're going to give you incentives, and that's going to entice people to say, just like the stimulus check, how everybody foaming out the mouth. Oh, I'm going to get my stimulus. Yeah, it's cool. I got free money. That is bad. And people, I'm telling you right now, the majority of individuals who are not financially educated are going to just fall for it all. And it's going to be crazy. It's going to be seriously crazy. I can't even believe that this is happening. It's interesting, the fact that we actually get to live through this. Moving on. Okay. So we've seen some interesting articles come out surrounding CBDCs just to show you guys that this is happening. Digital transformation is coming. There's nothing we can do about it at the end of the day, except hope for the best. Hopefully we're right about utility-driven assets, and hopefully in the future we get to own them. Oh my goodness gracious. Australian Central Bank to launch live pilot of CBDC in coming months. If you guys, by the way, enjoy this video breakdown so far, I know that I'm kind of falling off the beaten path. If you're still here, you're a trooper. Okay, I really do appreciate the love and support. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Man, hopefully my voice isn't annoying when I talk in this microphone. My goodness gracious. So this is from Australia, Central Bank to launch live pilot of CBDC in the coming months. We saw that headline come out 23 hours ago. This came out February 17th, 2023. So just this year. Russia to roll out CBDC pilot with real consumers in April of this year. Russia's central bank is preparing to launch the first consumer pilot for the digital ruble in collaboration with 13 local banks. CBDC is coming. Last but not least, we see the Bank of Japan to launch its CBDC pilot before May. So this digital transformation is most likely going to happen. Full CBDC rollout, in my personal opinion, by 2025 at the latest. We're going to see more pilots. We're going to see more testing, more implementation. 2024 next year, we're going to start to see them start bribing people. Hey, here's a free 1,000 euro. Here's a free 1,000 Japanese yen digital money. Go spend it at your local store. See how it works, right? You just walk in, you beep, 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 right? Slide your little card, whatever the case may be, and you're on your way. No physical transactions. It's faster. It's cheaper. It's more secure, right? That's what they're going to get you with. It's always the safest route. That's what they're going to portray to people. Blessings to you guys all. Protect yourselves out there. Do your own personal research. Nothing that I constitute here is financial advice. Go down the rabbit hole with some of the things that I talked to you all about today. Zero click, data security, Pegasus, okay? Cambridge Analytica, right? The whistleblower, Brittany Kaiser, and what she did for the world. I cannot stress enough. The information is there for you all. The internet is available to you all at your fingertips for you to go educate yourself out there. I highly suggest that you do. Many blessings. As always, be cognizant, be aware. I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.
I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la.